We are live. We are live. Good afternoon, YouTube. Like, share, subscribe, comment. Um, I'm at work, so you may hear some background factors. We'll make do with it, but I had to do this stream. I was on the way to work this morning, and the thumbnail that you see right is from the stream that inspired this one because Ringo TV he did ask a good question, as far as the response by Passport Bros to Alpha Male Strategy um, being on Fresh and Fit and what he had to say about the Passport Bros. And Ringo also expressed uh, his disagreement with the Passport Bros as well. Now, what Ringo did ask was as far as a response from the Passport Bros to Alpha Male Strategies or himself. You can make that in YouTube in general because really throughout YouTube, a lot of wasted conversation takes place, and the proper responses aren't given even by the people that are actually having discussion, and which also leads to or equals to bad information, right? But I took it upon myself just to give you guys some insights. It could be taken as a response, but I do this for y'all, so y'all know how to rebuttal or look at how people say things that are inaccurate and try to discourage you from doing something that is a better option for you if you fit a certain criteria for yourself, right? So, just getting into it, I'm going to start with the respect factor. Um, Alpha Male Strategies, Ringo, any content creator that wants you to continue to deal with the modern Western woman and be involved in the matrix in this environment, um, they can talk about respect all day long, but men overall in this environment, regardless of what you do, aren't respected. Your role is minimized. Look, getting into respect, when you have a group of men, particularly middle class men, that's at a 60% rate middle class, that make 50,000, 60,000, all the way up to six figures, that can't pair up with women who are also at a 60% equal rate in the middle class, they don't, that proves that they don't respect anybody hardly. They don't even respect their equals or their ideal matches. Uh, so no dating coach, no game coach, no person who wants to continue to participate in the matrix talking about being yourself, carrying yourself a certain way, talking a certain way, and stuff like that, present yourself a certain way within the matrix into the modern westernized woman can talk about respect like that's going to solve anything, right? And we also know the issue about money and what happens to high profile men, millionaires, and whatnot. The divorce rate is still high, it's going up. There is a thing called self respect. If anybody is to talk about an aspect of respect, it would be self respect, respect for yourself. And when you have respect for yourself, you value yourself, and you care less what others think and how they perceive you. And also, you start acting better and doing better for yourself, which would also extend to you putting yourself in better position in places and around better people. Thus, the passporting process, you know. So, I want to see these men show me how respect from a modern Western woman, also combined with being in the matrix, equals to anything, right? That respect will be conditional and it will be temporary and it will not be lifelong till old age. And when I speak of marriage, I mean a real marriage, not no fake marriage that ends in a year, a couple of years, or in divorce. So these guys, they do a lot of talking to sound macho. Everything revolves around mostly them. When they start running off at the mouth, it's just trying to be macho, and they don't want to tell the truth about long term uh, benefits and plans dealing with women combined with the Matrix. They don't have anything for that. All they can tell you is, the temporary or short stage of doing what it takes to probably date a woman, get a woman, have her for a while, have a girlfriend for what we call a short term. They don't have any other answers, right? Now, it is time for like the proper representation of of the passport bros, but of a guy of a certain type, of a man of a certain type, to be heard and to be called upon and to speak just for the sake of the misconceptions and the bad information that keeps floating around. Enough of that had got done in the manosphere. That's why you always have a mess in the manosphere, or something else next that will happen again. But these guys, they actually think they're talking to wimps. They're actually thinking they're talking to puny guys. One particular, they got this one misconstrued idea of a guy that they think they're talking to all the time when they mention the passport bros, and they don't know this an array of type of men, many different types of men who are on a particular playing field who really and truly do demand respect, and also they have to be addressed a certain way by anybody, and I'm one of them. Like, I went through the process. I'm not an incel. I'm not the guy who couldn't get a chick over here. I'm the guy who understood the game was rigged and the quality of the product of the woman was very low, and you could not uh, succeed. You could not succeed in moving forward with the cards that you dealt with. You can have fun all day long. You can have recreation, entertainment, but that is not the natural way of life. The natural way of life at some point involves a family, producing a family, and growing old, and having offspring and leaving generations behind. Uh, got a little background music. I'm gonna try to bear through it. It does not involve dating until you're dead, flinging until you're dead, hooking up until you're dead, pumping and dumping until you're dead, having just one girlfriend after the next one. One phases out, you go to another one. It doesn't involve that. And the information, the jargon, and the rhetoric that these content creators kick, these dating coaches kick, these game coaches kick, is just a never-ending path of that. Um, and the reason why the Passport Bros movement has shut just about that down, and they have an issue with that, is because they don't really have hardcore proof or answer to why they can't stop it. See, they want to stop it because it stops their agenda, but they can't stop it, right? Um, Again, I would say the results are in. When you look at the Western Hemisphere, and particularly in America, when you look at it and you look at statistics, um, from a relationship, marriage perspective, dating perspective. I mean, and it's getting worse because you get new articles on dating every day. You get TikToks, uh, and it's just complaint after complaint. And a lot of it's in response to guys just opting out, coming to their senses and opting out, and refraining from the matrix, and then finding better places to go to. and as they should, right? So it's easy for you just wanting to mingle and have fun and talk like that, but can can somebody like alpha male strategies? Can somebody like that? Got a little background noise again. Can somebody like that talk about success for something long term and constructive and family oriented? And he can't do that. Uh, here's a key note. And I meant to say this when I was talking to Ramil the other day. Everybody that you see living and breathing came from an effort or an actual productive an effort at making a family or an actual productive family. At some point, just an attempt to make a family produces another life. All of us came from either of those things, right? So now we're supposed to be stuck in a cycle to where we just live and just grow up and we don't repeat the process. And then a lot of us will just get old and then eventually just die with nothing left behind, um, which is which is insanity. So the end result, the end game for what these guys are talking about does not make sense. It corresponds in the end with nothing being done from a natural standpoint the right way, nothing left to leave behind uh, for your offspring and your lineage to carry on. It's just that you just go out with yourself in the life that you live, which is like again insanity. So there's nothing that they can say to you, right? And the minute that they figure out that all the passport bros are the same, and that you got actual real men, even some real hardcore men that you just can't approach or confront a certain way, and you can't tell them about their path and where they have been and what they have been through, and why they have came to the conclusion that they have came to. You know, wanting to call somebody a sucker, wanting to call somebody weak. You want again blanketing a bunch of men into one. That in of itself, it's just them talking behind a camera and a microphone instead of looking at, okay, let's take a survey. Let's take a survey of passport bros and what types do we have. Why don't they have them hosted on the show? Why don't they have more than just one? Uh, if not, they have a spokesperson. You still got to be careful with the spokesperson too, because you can have situations like Austin Harmon, and a couple of others that aren't really solid, and from the mold, who can stand up, what I'm saying, to hold their ground. Now, let me go back and look at something real quick, and bear with me again, we still got a little background noise. Uh, Let me check something real quick. Step out for a second. I'm gonna come right back. It ain't gonna take nothing, probably about 30 seconds. The broadcast info. Okay, there we go. Let me go back here. Okay, let's get back to it. Get back to the live. Okay, I'm back. All right, cool. So when you Listen to these guys. I really want y'all to analyze these guys. Uh, Replay it if you can, if you have the time, but just analyze them and really listen to them and listen how they make statements that really are inflated. They do a lot of gaslighting, just like the females they complain about, the gaslight. So if they really wanted to address the passport bros, they would first of all they would pick the right men to talk to. You know, a lot of the previous conversations, the people that get to talk, the people that get on these panels, these people are a part of the trend, or they're self-proclaimed um, representatives who really aren't. That's why you can listen in on an average panel, and the right stuff is not being said. So that's the key thing, right? If they want to have the proper conversation, they will really set it up to have a real conversation, and they will really fine tune and pick the right people to talk to, get the collection of right people together, and they will organize it properly. Um, Trust and believe, like, you know, it's camera courage, it's microphone courage to say something when you're saying something that's not specific to actually the right type of person, and you try to blanket it. So that's all I gotta say. I may touch on this later. The description is in the chat. The description, pretty much, is how it's broken down, can't be disputed. This should go viral. This should go to Ringo and Alpha Male Strategies and anybody else that has a position with the passport bros, how they really need to go back and correct their approach to it, and then go have a proper dialogue uh, to see how truly they feel, or what they are willing to say when they're in the right arena. You know, that fake arena that they're in, you know, you can't take what they say at face value at all. All right. So we're getting a little crowded out here. Uh, I'm gonna go ahead and end this just because of the noise factor alone. I think we went long enough. We got about close to 20 minutes in. And again, the description's in the chat. The description will help you more than anything. But spread it, share it, like, share, subscribe, comment. It's your boy Zulu Girl. I'm out.